why I think you guys should be paying attention to Optimism, the OP token, right now. I think it's running within a very tight range of an extensive pattern here. That is a very well known pattern. If you guys been watching my channel, you guys will know it is the falling wedge pattern, and it usually gets very tight at the end of the pattern, and that's where optimism is right now, and it is about to make a move. Let me show you guys what I'm seeing on this chart here. Okay, so this is the weekly time frame for optimism, and it is running within this falling wedge pattern, and this pattern has been playing out, has been forming since March 2024. If you go back to this weekly candle here, and it is running very tight within this pattern here. Okay, that means to me it's about to make a move very soon. Now, falling wedges has a higher chance of it breaking to the upside. Okay, if it does, the price target for optimism here, if it breaks out by this point, then I'm gonna see a price target of about $4.20. Now, price targets are estimates only. There could be more or less. Very much depends on what the market is doing, and very much depends on what Bitcoin is doing, because that is still the driver of this market. I am long on Bitcoin. I am long on quite a bit of the altcoins here. So my opinion on this market is still bullish at this time. But of course, these are just my opinions, not financial advice. And I'll tell you guys when I change my opinions. Um, I also had done a more detailed Bitcoin video earlier today, so make sure you guys check that out after this video. I will link it to you guys. I never trade altcoins without a clear understanding of what Bitcoin is doing, because if Bitcoin dumps, these setups are going to be, well, they're not going to really matter, right? So this is basically what I'm seeing for optimism on a higher time frame. Let's see if it breaks out of this pattern. There's quite a bit of resistance along the way. So just because if it breaks out does not mean that you're going to 100% get to that price target. Um, and if it gets that price target, and if it consolidates at that price level, we can come back here and chart the consolidation pattern and see what's more likely to happen next. Will it be continuing upwards, or will it be pulling back from there? Of course, there's also the downside of a falling wedge breaking down as well. I've seen that happen throughout my years of trading, right? So it's, something to be paying attention to. Got to consider both the upside and the downside risk, right? Now, if optimism was to take another dip here, I see a very possible bullish divergence double bottom scenario, right? As you guys can see, based on this weekly low here at about June 16th, that was a very strong bounce here. So that creates a possible bullish divergence scenario if this price action was to dip back down to that level or lower. Let's go ahead and go to a smaller time frame and see what optimism could be doing on a smaller time frame, and see if we can get any more clarity. 4 hour time frame, we're looking at a falling wedge again, and this time it broke out to the upside. Now, for those who don't really know how to trade falling wedges, right, it is possible that it breaks out of the pattern and it basically retests that upward trend line like it has been doing here, but it doesn't fall back into the pattern. Okay, so it's basically retesting that breakout, and this one actually held. As you guys can see that we don't see any 4 hour candles breaking back into the pattern, right? And in this case, it retested that breakout before actually taking off. Now, the price target for this falling wedge pattern would be about 84 cents. Let's see if it gets there. There's quite a bit of moving averages along the way that's acting as support and resistance, and I think you guys should be paying attention. So this basically wraps it up for this video for optimism. Let's see if it can break out of that bigger falling wedge pattern, and let's see if it can actually meet the price target of some of these smaller patterns here. If you want to continue seeing more of Optimism, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.